Hello everyone, this is theStC here back some more Starcraft 2 Wings of Liberty action. This time it's going to be the last game, the very last game between EG Stephano down in the bottom right side. And up in the top left side, it is going to be Liquid Hero, which I gotta say, both these players have one of the funnest names to say, Stephano and Hero. I don't know if that's bugging everyone else, but I am having a lot of fun saying that. And again, I don't know who to cheer for in this series. Both these players are so good, both of them are so inventive, and both of them deserve to be the first place champion of this entire tournament. Of course, it is the BWC. For those of you who do not know, it was a tournament put on by Blizzard that spanned months, it spanned countries, and it spanned hundreds of thousands of dollars. I don't know the exact math on how much the prize pool money was for all of their events leading up to this one, including this one, but it's got to be like $1 million or like 300. I don't know. Maybe like 500,000. I don't even know. They gave away a lot of money. Plus the cost of renting a huge freaking place in China, flying everyone out. It's actually pretty absurd. So a lot of money invested in this tournament. So props to Blizzard. Also, I want to give some props to Blizzard in that they released the replays just days after the tournament. I think it was actually the next day all the replays were released. And so big props to Blizzard because a lot of events out there don't actually release replays anymore, which I think is stupid because they get tons of free exposure and tons of free views and all that, but whatever. So in this series, I'm going to be supporting Blizzard, so that's who I'm cheering for in this series, which means that, well, Blizzard's probably not going to win this match because it's between these two players, but regardless, we do see the Forge Fastest Man going to be going down right here for Hero, and I just realized that the little nameplates are a little bit see-through. See how you can see the little light right here through the nameplate? The more you know. I feel like I'm always learning something about StarCraft. But anyways, we do have a spawning pool going to be going down for Stephano. This is very common versus Protoss. This is why, because guess what? There's going to be a pylon in your natural every single time. You almost never see a Zerg player go for a hatchery first versus Protoss. If you can pull it off, it's actually quite nice. But it usually just does not happen because Protoss can block it easier than any other race. Zerg can like technically do a hatchery and then an Evo chamber, but they have to have that money at the same timing you have your 300, so that's probably never going to happen in this matchup. But regardless, we do see 2 Zerglings on the way, plus the Queen, plus 2 drones, so Stephano's not going to be overcommitting this. He's just going to be using a couple of Zerglings here to take out the pylon. I don't think that this probe can really do anything else to delay this expansion. What does Stephano have planned, though? Yeah, he's going to be going for the 3rd base right there, and I'm kind of curious to see exactly how this turns out, because, again, Hero has kind of forced the hand of Stephano. Now, is it really forcing him in that would Stephano have gone this build anyways? I mean, there's really no way to know, because I'm not Stephano, and I can't read his mind. However, Hero knows that Stephano is forced to go this playstyle, so he knows that there's not going to be any crazy 2-base timing. He knows there's not going to be any weird Baneling bust timing or anything like that, and so Hero's going to be quite comfortable losing this pylon. And you can see that the hatchery itself is not delayed that much. He's still getting it right at 430, which is when you normally would be getting this early 3rd base if you're going for the 3-base style versus Protoss. So it's not so much that it delays it, it's more that Hero's going to be feeling quite comfortable in knowing what his opponent's doing. Also, I mean, look, it does delay mining a little bit. You have to transfer these drones a little bit further, so it does delay the economy for the rest of the game. But all around, Stephano's going to be okay. But Hero, he's also going to be okay, and that's always a good way to start out an awesome game and end an awesome series without some sort of gimmicky play ending up taking the game. Now, Hero, he did go for the Stargate in the last game, but I don't think he's going to be going for it again in this game unless he wants to recreate the success that he found in that last game. But you got to remember that on this map, it's very easy to secure a 3rd base. You grab your 3rd base right here. You have your big death ball right there. You can swing in for your natural as well as the 3rd base right there and be pretty much good to go for the duration of the game, because Protoss on 3 bases, they can max out several times. Keeping in mind that Protoss can max out very easily because you have warp gates, which will warp in an entire army. You also have Colossus, which take up a lot of supply, and you can bring along a warp prism to even warp in units on the front lines. So getting maxed out a couple of times on 3 bases is quite easy as Protoss, so securing a 4th base, while it is difficult on this map, is not nearly as important as other matchups. Now, we do see the robotics facility going to be going down, so yep, he's not going to be going for Stargate, at least for now. And, you know, kind of like getting a Stargate after Robo tends to not be very good. It will be good in Heart of the Swarm because you can get out Tempest and things like that and Oracles in the mid-game, which do prove to be very useful. But not currently in Wings of Liberty. You basically have to go for a Phoenix or Void Ray opener, or you just go something else. And we do see the Overlord is going to get taken out right now. Do keep in mind, though, that in Wings of Liberty, there are not that many cloaked or burrowed units for Zerg in the mid-game. I mean, even if you research burrow, what are you going to do? Burrow a Zergling at their ramp or something? So getting an observer out isn't as important. But either way, you have to scout the Zerg some way. It either has to be hallucination, or it has to be a drop, or it has to be an observer. Looks like right now, Hero might actually do it with a drop right now, as he is going to be going for a very fast War Prism. This is about as fast as it gets, actually, when Protoss does a forage fast expand. So he is going to be going for a War Prism before observer, which, what does he actually plan to do with this? Because he's only got one gateway, so he is adding on 2 more. He does have the War Prism and a couple of sentries, so it does look like it will be a sentry drop, with the 3rd sentry going to be finishing up here in just a moment. Should be done a little bit after the War Prism, but does he decide to go for that, or does he load up these 2 and just head on out, or does he just hang out here with his fancy new War Prism? I'm kind of curious to see exactly what his plan is with that War Prism. It seems that since he dumped Chronos into it, he wanted to get it out quickly, but may have miscalculated the timing a little bit with these sentries. What are you doing? Come on, there you go. Having a little bit of trouble getting him inside that War Prism, but he is going to go ahead and do that just fine at this point. But is it going to be too little too late? Remember, there's no War Prism speed, so this thing is as slow as flying molasses, which flying molasses would be quite terrifying. But either way, we do see the potential for a drop. Going to be heading out to the right side. An interesting choice because he can't force field the ramp here. If you're going in from the right side, you could double force field this, I suppose. But I don't know if that's really going to end up working out. The Roaches are already here, ready to defend, and you can see a Stephano, not that he really predicted this, but he knows that this is a definite possibility, knowing that Hero loves War Prisms, knowing that Protoss loves Sentries, and it does look like Hero may be actually going for a Sentry Immortal all-in, just mixed with a War Prism, an early War Prism, to try and force the wrong units here out of Stephano. And honestly, this might do great damage here moving forward, just because he's got control of that center watchtower if he wants it. He's also got the Immortals on the way. I don't know if they have been spotted here by Stephano, because Hero, I feel like this is kind of the distraction War Prism. He's running around with a Vuvuzela blowing on it to try and get Stephano's attention. So far, I would say mission accomplished here. I don't think Stephano has really scouted anything here. I don't think he, I mean, he knows about the Robo now, but actually he's going to be dropping a little ledge down here to kill off an Overlord. Nice little play there. And what exactly does he continue to do with this War Prism? So far, he's got the 1 free kill. He's also got the Observer hanging down here to spot these Creep Tumors. Takes out the Creep Tumor that had the ability of continuing to spread the creep. Remember that when you plant a Creep Tumor, the next Creep Tumor, the old one, can no longer plant another Creep Tumor. So if you kill that one off, the Queen has to come down here. And I don't know if Stephano has any extra Queens. No, he does not. He's only got 3 Queens, which means he's probably very low on energy because he's going to be injecting a lot of larvae. He also has the extra hatchery inside the main base. And of course, Stephano, one of the better players out there, so he's not going to be missing a lot of inject larvas. Right now, he is a little bit low on the larva count, but he is more focused on getting out the Roaches and going for almost an 11 min max, but it's not going to be the quickest rush here that we've seen to mass Roach, but we do see 1-1 on the way. We see 172 supply, and Stephano basically preparing for what could be a Sentry Immortal all-in, the +2 attack on the way here for Hero. Going to be having super early upgrades. You can see Stephano only having the +1 range attack, is working on the +1 armor, but it's going to be a little bit behind. So Hero, by the time this hits, should have an upgrade advantage, especially with Blink on the way. And Hero, you can see, realizes what's happening. And you got to remember that Stephano right now, he wants to play the deny game. He wants to deny that 3rd base, but guess what? There is no 3rd base. So Hero can take an engagement that is favorable to him because he's been spending his money on a lot more units, a lot more tech, as opposed to that 3rd base. So Stephano's going to get up here. He's not going to be too happy about what he sees in that there is no expansion there, although Hero is backed into a corner here. Now, is Stephano going to be able to commit to this? Doesn't look like Hero's going to be falling for it. You can see as Stephano's trying to bait this army out here. He's got a 3-prong attack going on right now, waiting to get the surround. But every second that goes by, he's just going to be buying more and more time for the Protoss. You can see a couple shots going back and forth. Hero warping a couple units there. They will get canceled. That's not a big loss for Protoss. You just have to re-warp in those units somewhere else. And it does look like Stephano's ready to go. He's waiting for 1-1, it looks like. Or is he just going to bite? You got to remember, he does have an upgrade disadvantage. And Stephano is going to go for it. There's the force field, so Hero says, come at me, bro. The Immortal's right in front, going to be doing lots of damage, although no, actually taking a lot of damage from those links, finally pushing the links back. No, the War Prism going to be able to pick up some valuable units to drop them behind, and Stephano, he set the trap, he sprung the trap, but unfortunately, instead of catching a rat, he caught a buffalo. That was a terrible analogy, as his mousetrap obviously not going to be working in that situation. This Roach right there doesn't even want to walk. He's just getting pushed all the way back home as he has lost functionality of his legs. Actually, still does not have functionality of his legs. So he doesn't even care, man. He's just saying deal with it. I think that, oh my god, this is actually really distracting to me. Did he finally fix his legs? Are his legs still broken? Oh my god, I think his legs still are broken. So we're going to keep an eye on that, Roach. We're not going to click on anything else until Stephano decides to move this army again. But I can't help but feel like his legs are permanently broken. That is how bad he ended up losing that battle. So we shall see in the next battle if the legs begin to work. We actually do have Hallucination on the way for Hero. A very interesting choice there, especially considering that we don't normally see Protoss go for that. An Immortal drop inside the main base. Cubine, they do two-shot Infestors. So 2 Infestor kills there for 2 Immortals and a War Prism. Not sure if that's totally worth it, but at least he didn't end up losing the majority of that army. All right, it looks like his legs are finally working. So boring, as we do have the big army now for Hero, starting to get to 150 supply, which is kind of a money supply for Protoss here, especially since he's got the 3rd base on the way. He can use this army supply to defend versus just about anything, although that is a lot of stuff. Stephano is so good at his macro, able to get maxed out once again. But losing those 2 Infestors is very important, because that's going to be a lot less Fungals and a lot less Infested Terrans should it come down to it. The Destructible Rockshade here, of course, have been taken out, and it does like Hero is spread far and wide. The Colossus here have been hallucinated. Not sure if Stephano realizes it. No, he does not know those are fake Colossus, so it might actually scare him away here. And if he was watching his army, he would realize that they were not roasting away. But either way, those Colossus, I don't know if it ended up winning the game for Hero, if he ends up winning. But if nothing else, it is going to be scaring Stephano just a little bit here, as he has regrouped himself, is now re-maxed out here with these Infestors on the way, the 2-2 on the way. He may wait for that timing. The Observer here could get fungled and spotted, but for now, I think Hero has bought himself the time that he needs. He's working on +3 attack, and honestly, there is a Spire on the way, so if we do see Corruptors, then the Hallucination actually ended up working. Or is this going to be for Broodlords? It remains to be seen, but there is no Hive Tech here, so if we do see Corruptors, then Hero, he is feigned going Colossus Tech and actually made it work, and is instead going to be focusing on Stalkers. Look at that, once again, using Hallucination here. Is this actually going to work? We almost never see Hallucination work, which is why it is a total mind game right now, because Hero's saying, well, this doesn't normally work, so let's go ahead and do it. So I'm keeping the vision on Stephano here, because it will show you as soon as he knows that it is a fake, as far as vision is concerned. He does have Corruptors on the way, so he's been duped. He doesn't realize that these are fake Colossus here, and unless he cancels those, he's going to have a lot of supply, 18 to be exact, invested in the Corruptors that are not actually going to be doing anything here. Now, does he decide to do 2 more fake Colossus here to completely trick his opponent? Stephano is actually following for Hallucination. I don't think I've ever seen this, especially at this level of play, but it does look like Stephano may be up against the ropes here with these Corruptors on the field, and even Neural Parasite's being researched, so he absolutely thinks these Colossus are real, and oh no, Stephano has been duped, and it does look like right now Hero going to be marching up here with all of his units. A couple units to get no, it doesn't get intercepted there, as the army is in a great position. It's once again in a choke point, which does favor Protoss. All of a sudden, I think Stephano's going to realize that these Colossus are fake, and yes, he now knows that these Corruptors have got to use their corruption ability. It does look like they have been. All of them have it on cooldown right now, which means he's been using it on the more valuable units, but either way, Hero able to force Corruptors when they are not needed here. He's been able to be cost effective right now. He's also basically counterattack proof. He's got the 1 cannon right here to buy enough time. He's got a cannon right here to prevent the run by, and he can easily warp in units right here to help block those counterattacks. But it does look like Stephano is going to go for it. He's at 2-2 upgrades. The Archons are on the way. They may be a little bit too late. A slight upgrade advantage, though, for Hero. Going to really press the advantage, especially now that Archons are out, and Hero may be defeating the best foreign Zerg, the best foreign player right now, with a very beautiful timing attack with beautiful usage of Hallucination. A great play by Hero. He is going to try and march down here. There's a lot of Roaches on the field, though. And even though there are Immortals, the Roaches can be cost effective, but unfortunately Stephano never able to get the counterattack that he wants, never able to get the flank that he wants. The force field's pretty good. The Infestors are low on energy, and it does look like the Archons eventually going to get taken out, but they have done a lot of damage. They are absorbing a lot of damage as well. The +3 attack makes them do 47 damage versus biological, which is absolutely absurd. So every single shot is huge. 10 kills on that Archon, and he's just getting started. More reinforcements on the way. Stephano is unable to spend all of his money. He has been missing his inject larvas, I feel like, just because the attack has been non-stop here here from Hero. He's also been duped. He thought he had the counter to what Hero actually had, but Stephano forced to retreat back to 2 bases, unable to get a 4th base up. His Spine Crawlers will be down in time, but I don't think that's enough to end up killing this army. The Fungals, where are they? He doesn't have enough energy on these Infestors. Corruption ability thrown out to try and kill off these Immortals, but there's so many Stalkers, so many reinforcements that even if Hero does not win right here, he's got a 4th base on the way. This is not the high yield version, but he is going to have that 4th base on the way in the center, so I think he might actually be able to break this. The Infestors trying to get out enough energy. 3 more Infestors on the way. 17 Roaches on the way here as well, and I don't know if that's going to be enough though, because even if he kills this, he may still lose his natural. He's already lost his 3rd. He's already lost his 4th. Hero is going to advance to the bracket stage of the game. I don't think there's any way Stephano can hold on. That is the blink forward, maybe sacrificing some Stalkers, but the cost is worth it. The Archon finally getting taken out. Infested Terrans to try and trap this army to do free DPS, but guess what? These Infested Terrans are only at 1 attack, 2 armor, which is no match for the 3 attack, 1 armor here for Hero, as we do have more and more and more reinforcements. And Stephano, even if he holds on, I know I've said it already, but he doesn't have the production, he doesn't have the larva to continue pushing this out right now. And the Queens aren't even injecting larva. Stephano completely out of money. He's only got 400 minerals per minute, soon to be a lot less after he loses his natural. Even the Corruptor still can't do anything. I think there's 1 Corruptor randomly on the field here. Not sure exactly where it is, but it is not going to be useful at all. A single Broodlord on the way. Oh my god, this has got to be the most powerful Broodlord of all time. You can see Hero right there actually dancing inside the base of Stephano intentionally, just to taunt him, to basically say, hey man, you are done. Go ahead and leave the game anytime you want. Greater Spire going to get taken out as well, and Hero knows that he's got this game. He's almost 100 supply ahead. There's the 1 Broodlord now done, a 2nd Broodlord on the way, but at this point, Stephano's just buying his time, twiddling his thumbs, because he knows he's almost out of this tournament. He knows he traveled a long way to China for this tournament, and unfortunately will be eliminated here by Hero. And you can see Stephano right there saying congrats in all caps with a Z, and looks like he's just going to go ahead and sit around, watch his building die. Not only does he give the well played, he also gives the congrats. Stephano, he tends to be manner in his games. Outside of his games, he does a little bit of smack talk, but that's why we love him. So Hero able to defeat the best foreigner in the world 2-1 in the series that mattered most, which was the advancement match. And so Hero is going to be in the bracket stage of the BWC. So awesome, awesome play here by both players. Unfortunately, Stephano unable to hang on in this series. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time.